Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Brackusbaum Computer Consulting monthly webinar series. My name is Kelly Bergman, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this month featuring Fortis and Sage AR Automation. In an effort to streamline this process, we're just going to introduce the guys presenting today. That is David Fryoff with Sage AR Automation and Liam Lewis with Fortis. They're going to show you a few products that can revolutionize the way you get paid and managing your AR. I'm going to let the guys jump right into their agenda.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly. So again, my name's Liam. I'm with Fortis. We are an integrated payment processor, and I'm the director of our partner channel. I'm going to go over who we are, what we do, how we integrate with Sage directly, and then I'm going to hand it off to David at Sage AR Automation to discuss Sage AR Automation, what they do, and some of the advanced features that they offer in terms of payment and AR reporting. Then we're going to go into the top 5 ways to accelerate income using your Sage platform, which is the bulk of what this meeting's about. And then we're going to open it up at the end for Q&A and next steps. So why does this matter? Businesses struggle with slow payments, manual processes once you get paid, and poor cash flow visibility. In other words, companies want to get paid ideally quickly and without much manual processes involved in terms of reporting. So this presentation is going to show how Fortis and Sage AR Automation make it super easy to solve these challenges and make it easier for your customers so that you're happy getting paid quickly and your customers are happy paying you easily with a variety of different methods. So first off, Fortis, just kind of give you an overview of who we are and what we do. We are a leading payment processor and gateway, and we have a fully integrated payment processing solution for companies using Sage 100, Sage Intacct, or Sage AR Automation. We have over 20 years of embedded payments experience and 4 years as a Sage endorsed solution. It takes about 15 minutes to set up a merchant account, and even less time, about 10 minutes to plug into your Sage system directly or into Sage AR Automation, as we'll show you. We have a lot of history working with Sage AR Automation. We have over 150 Sage AR customers who are able to accept payments, with more customers signing up every week. It's very popular. So some of our basic payment processing features, I'm just going to go over kind of our basic solution, what it looks like integrating Fortis in with your Sage platform directly. And then again, I'm going to hand it over to David to go over the more advanced features that come with Sage AR Automation. So one of the biggest things is we're able to offer click-to-pay invoicing. So what that looks like is basically generating a link that you can include in your invoices to send to your customers directly so that they can click on it. It'll take them to a basic payment page, and they can pay those invoices with ACH, credit card, or give them the option, and it posts back into Sage to mark it as paid. So another option that we have is our customer portal. So how that differs from click-to-pay is when a customer receives a customer portal link, they can actually create a login using their email, and then every invoice that they receive thereafter, they can go in and see them in their customer portal and click on all of them to pay them all at once or select the invoices that they want to pay. That really cuts down on them reaching out for confirmation on what's owed. They can see what they've paid in real time. We also have the ability to set up recurring payments. So you can set up a certain customer to be billed once every week, every month. It's really customizable in terms of the frequency. And we can do that because we can tokenize and store payment information, both bank account information for ACH or credit card information, directly within your Sage platform securely and compliantly. Technically, that information lives with us rather than with you, so it doesn't impact you in terms of PCI compliance or expose you to any risk. We also offer free support based here in the US 24/7 and awesome reporting tools so that you can see exactly what's going to your bank account and which invoices are being paid. I'm just going to talk about click to pay here again. So what's nice about this is it's really basic, and it's easy to use. So you can text or email a link to customers directly from Sage, included in your PDF of your invoice, generates a link where customers can click on it. They'll be taken to a very basic page where they're given the option to pay via credit card or ACH, or you can isolate it to be a credit card payable or ACH payable only invoice link. And once it's paid, it'll show back up in Sage as paid. And the nice thing with this is you can even white label the payments page to have your branding in the top left corner. So the URL and the branding on the page will appear like it's part of your internal system. So our customer portal accelerates receivables by presenting all open invoices and allowing customers to pay by ACH or card. So again, what this looks like is customers will be able to see all of their open invoices, select all of them or select a few, as you can see here, and pay them here in their portal. The nice thing with this is if you have a customer that you have a lot of dealings with, if they receive invoices pretty frequently, this is a really easy way for them to stay on the ball and keep track of it. Another nice thing about allowing customers to pay open invoices electronically, whether through Click to Pay or through our customer portal, is invoice chasing. So what invoice chasing looks like is basically you can set up automated and customizable reminders to customers to pay their invoices. The nice thing about this is I find a lot of customers of ours are looking for ways where they can cut down on the time it takes to get paid. And a lot of that is manual, reaching out via, email, phone call, text to their customers, reminding them of when things are due, or to chase folks down for past due invoices. So with our platform, albeit basic, it makes it pretty easy to set up reminders to customers to get paid. And the frequency is very customizable. So you can set it up to, for a notice to go out a week before, 3 days before, the day after an invoice is due. And what most of our customers do is create pretty automated messages that are pretty similar across their customers, so that it's really easy to set up when you're doing business with somebody new. You have the option to set up recurring payments at a frequency that you dictate, whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. This is great for, subscription-based model, or even for customers that maybe want to break up their order into multiple payments. So, if you want to offer a pseudo, financing option, or, break it into smaller chunks, you can do that pretty easily right there in your Sage system. In terms of our reporting dashboard, it's all there within your payment processing gateway. As you can see here, you can see your recent payments, scheduled payments, open invoices, and this is available to you to kind of take a look at, what's coming in, verify it against, what's being reported in Sage. Your payment processing dashboard also acts as a virtual terminal, so you can take payments, outside of the Sage platform if needed. And it offers awesome tools to be able to send automated reports to certain employees of yours or to certain members of your organization with specific data that they need related to, sales that came through yesterday, batch reports, open invoices, scheduled payments, and you can also see your account vaults in here. So you won't be able to see, someone's full credit card information, but it will show, the customers that you have on file in your account vault. So just to kind of, reiterate some of the benefits of using Fortis, you can accept payments across multiple channels, including credit card, ACH, and digital wallets. We offer lower card processing fees through low rates. We also optimize the credit card fees that you end up paying through interchange optimization, basically our gateway gathering additional data related to certain credit cards to lower those rates for you. We can directly integrate with Sage 100, Sage Intacct, or Sage AR automation for card tokenization, automated reconciliation, and financial tracking. and we offer advanced features like click-to-pay invoicing, payment reminders, recurring billing, payment portals, and customizable reports. So everything that I just went over is the basic functionality of integrating an integrated payment processor like Fortis in with your Sage 100 or Sage Intacct platform directly. Now we're going to go over some of the benefits of using Sage AR automation, which unlocks a wide variety of additional features. It's a cloud-based accounts receivable automation platform that connects to Sage 100 and Sage Intacct, streamlining collections and improving cash flow management. When integrated with us at Fortis, it provides an end-to-end payment and AR solution that eliminates manual processes and improves efficiency. So I'm going to hand it off to David to talk more about that.
All right, great. Thanks, Liam. And Liam did, hint at when he's talking about the basic automation they have within Fortis, that manual process. And what we see during that manual process a lot of times are, companies are dialing that aging spreadsheet, having to color code it by individual collector if there's multiple collectors, and then they're utilizing that spreadsheet to do everything that is listed on the left here. And so in my presentation today, I'll talk through what we see in those manual process and some of the challenges and chaos we see with it, and then how our system can help with alleviating that chaos and those problems. So within a automated solution like Sage AR Automation, we typically are seeing 5 different major features: automated customer communications, collection activity management, a self-service portal, cash application back into Sage, and forecast reporting. We find that these features combined give our customers a pretty good ROI. So we're seeing a 30% reduction in DSO within the first year to 2 years of utilizing the product. We're also seeing a 3 times increase in team productivity because we're able to automate what is typically that manual process. And we're seeing a 30% increase in cash flow as well, with those automated emails and that self-service portal, bringing that cash in faster. So first, we'll look at automated customer communications. So this helps to eliminate the manual reminders of the communication and helps to make sure the customer is contacted continuously. So let's think about this in a story. So first, we're going to talk about that you might have a customer who receives an email from an AR collector talking about a severely past due invoice. It might have a little bit of a harsher tone to it. And your customer gets upset because that customer doesn't have a copy of the invoice, nor have they been reached out to much before then. Now let's look at it from the collector's point of view. The collector is completely stressed out because that collector has hundreds of accounts assigned to him, and he doesn't even have enough time in the day to reach out to them all. And he has to prioritize, and sometimes he forgets which collection process each customer prefers. He is living in essentially chaos throughout the day, every day, trying to do his job. Now let's see how AR automation can help relieve that chaos and help make his day much easier. Let's look at the same story, but utilizing SARA's automated customer communications. Instead of the customer getting just a severe past due notice with no invoice attached, they receive a coming due and several past due notices, letting them know about that invoice. The customer receives the email and is able to pay the invoice right away because the customer has everything that they need. The collector doesn't have the pressure anymore of trying to reach out to all of his customers because he knows the system does it for him. And then with the multi-sequencing, he knows that the customers are communicated in the correct way instead of him trying to remember that for each customer. Ultimately, this removes the chaos as the system is doing most of the communication with the customer in an efficient manner, and the collector is able to focus on those strategic customers. Now let's talk through the next feature, self-service portal. So, benefits of this, it deflects that inbound email coming from that customer because they're able to typically do everything they need on that portal, and reduces the paper checks and automates the cash application back into Sage. So if we continue the story that we talked about in the first slide, the customers, in our story is upset because at this point, they're just trying to get a copy of the invoice and pay it. That customer reaches out to the AR person the next day and to request a copy of that invoice. The issue continues because the AR person is now out of the office. He then calls the AR department, and the person who answers knows not much about his problems or his account, and it's taking forever to get him a copy of that invoice. And he's starting to get more frustrated as the chaos continues. Now, let's look at it from the AR person's perspective. They get a phone call from a customer that's not assigned to them, and it's assigned to a different collector, and they have no visibility into the notes about that customer or the activities that they've done against that customer. So they're trying to get a customer, they're trying to look up the customer information inside of Sage and find that invoice, print it, and email it out to that customer. This is a frustrating process for that collector as they have their own customers to worry about and doesn't want to waste a lot of time trying to get invoice over to a different customer. Now let's look at how SARA is able to help prevent this situation from escalating and help that collector if they do get phone calls from a different customer. Now let's look at that same scenario, but utilizing SARA. Instead of having to reach out to the collector who is out of the office, the customer gets on the self-service portal and is able to easily download that PDF copy of the invoice for his record. He also seems that he can pay the invoice online, which he loves because he hates having to print and mail checks. He also loves that he can set up autopay, which will automatically pay his invoices, and he doesn't have to worry about having to remember to make that payment. He also loves that he has everything else at his fingertips to do things like dispute an invoice or do a promise to pay. He can also view those historical transactions as well. This removes the chaos of the back and forth between him and the collector around invoice copies and payments. The self-service portal removes the other collector from the process as the customer does not need to call in, removing the chaos from the scenario altogether. Now, from the collector's point of view, they receive the call and can look at the customer easily right here. They can view transaction information, how that customer typically pays, as well as activity information. And they can even see that activity information at the invoice level as well. So giving them all the information they need in one spot to easily help that customer. So the third is activity management. So this helps eliminate that aging spreadsheet that I showed in the beginning, helps to automate activity reporting and maximize the number of activities per collector. So let's talk about that aging spreadsheet for a second. So we're gonna look at this, we're gonna take our story and we're gonna look at the manager of that collections team. Every Monday morning, she goes into Sage, export the aging spreadsheet to Excel. She's then opening up last week's spreadsheet, doing a VLOOKUP to pull the activity information in from the previous Excel spreadsheet. She then has to divide the spreadsheet amongst her team and email it out. Now, and that process takes about 2 hours to do. Now, you might say, well, 2 hours once a week, that's not a big deal. But the problem is that spreadsheet, and those who are on the webinar so they do it manually, know that the issue is that the next day that aging spreadsheet's out of date. So either that person has to go in and do that each time, or their collectors are having to work off a out of date spreadsheet and having to go in and look up that information into Sage to validate it each time. So let's look and see how the collection management tool within SARA can help alleviate this issue. Now let's look at that same scenario, but utilizing SARA. For the manager, the chaos of creating the spreadsheets is gone, as she knows the next best activity contains the activities that she wants her collectors to work. She also knows that if the invoice associated with that activity gets paid, the activity falls off the list. That way it's always the most up-to-date list for her collectors. These two things combined make the process more efficient for her and her team, removing that chaos. Now for the collector, The chaos of having to bounce between 3 different systems has been removed, as the collector can easily see the follow-ups due to their past due, their unread emails, as well as they can click on the first one on the list here and be able to work that activity as well as have that customer information. So they can click the drop down here to be able to view that customer information, like the credit information here, historical trends, so average delayed information, the has been broker promises or disputes in the last 2 years, as well as that current aging. They can view contact information, and they can see transactional information, so payments made against the account, as well as all those open invoices on the account. Again, giving that collector everything that they need to make that phone call or send that email. If they are making a phone call, they can add the note from the phone call here. If they are sending that email, they can easily send that email here, so no need to bounce between different windows, as well as they can easily attach that PDF copy of the invoice, as well as reports, really giving everything that they need at their fingertips to be able to work those activities. This saves them a ton of time, and again, makes them more efficient and less stressed, removing the chaos. So last, we're going to look at forecasting and reporting. So, benefits of this helps to keep the stakeholders in the company informed, improves team performance, and the ability to report on how that team is doing, and to be able to manage those remote teams and be able to look at more cash flow forecasting. So we're going to take this story and we're going to keep it with the manager, and see this manager is feeling the pressure because within the past few months, the percent past due has been going up, and the CFO has taken notice. The CFO has just asked her to start reporting on the efficiency of how her team's doing. She also has been asked to start projecting cash based upon what she thinks the invoices are going to be paid. At this point, she really struggles to report on efficiencies as the current process is very segmented. She also has collectors who keep forgetting to update the spreadsheet with their notes. The activity section in the spreadsheet is very hard to read, as a very time-consuming process, as she has to go customer by customer to analyze updates of each collector. This just for a simple report on how her team's doing. For the cash projection side of it, she has to talk to each collector to get their take on what invoices they think will be paid that month. At best, it's an educated guess. The whole process is inefficient and chaotic. So let's look at how the dashboard within SARA can help to be able to alleviate the stress and give that CFO all the information they need at their fingertips. For the manager and the collector, the dashboard removes all the chaos of having to create educated guess on what they think will get paid for those cash projections. Instead, they rely on the cash projection section here in the dashboard. These projections utilize technology that projects when a customer is paid based on their customer history, removing the chaos of that educated guess. It also includes promise to pays as well. Now let's dive into the second part of the CFO's request. Visibility into how that team is doing. She loves that she can view how that individual collector is doing with the customers assigned to them, as well as she can see the team activity section down here and be able to see how they are doing as a whole. She loves that she can give the CFO access to the dashboard to see all the information himself, including the aging, average days to pay information, as well as the DSO information, providing him with all the insights he needs without all the work on her behalf, removing the chaos. So we talked about those different parts of, AR automation tool like SARA, Sage AR automation. So let's look at, you might be thinking, how does it integrate with Sage? So we do have a sync that pulls from both Intacct and 100 the data into our system. And then sitting on top of that data is those automated communications that go out to that customer via email. We could also do SMS and automated phone calls, driving them to that self-service portal where they can utilize Fortis to make that payments. And then those payments are automatically posted back into Sage. And we also have that activity management for that collector, telling them who they need to reach out to, eliminating that aging spreadsheet, and helping to automate that process for that collector. So I did want to put this slide in here just to kind of show everything together. I'm not going to go through it all, but it just shows that, those 4 major features and then those benefits for each of those features. So really, we looked at throughout the demo, throughout the webinar, that we had, the click-to-pay functionality with Fortis, and we have basic dunning process with Fortis. And then with our system, we have the ability to do, if you're looking for a more complex way of reaching out to your customers and that activity management, we're able to utilize that Fortis Pay for the payment to be able to do everything together. Fortis and Sage AR Automation setup. So if you were to utilize, both products, how easy is it to set up one inside of the other? So as Liam mentioned, it's a 5-minute application to be able to apply within Fortis, 9% next day approval. So you're approved very quickly within that application and that process. And as you mentioned, you get that installed within 1 week of getting it and getting installed within both if you're connected just directly into Sage or into Sage AR Automation. So that's easy. That ease of installation into Sage AR Automation is as easy as selecting a box within AR Automation and just signing into your Fortis domain. It's that simple. So that really helps to make that connection very simple and very easy for your team to be able to connect both products together to help complete that loop. Now we'll look at top 5 things you can do in the next 30 days to accelerate your income. So first is automate those invoice collections, which we've talked about. So, alleviating those manual follow-ups on those invoices and leading to delays and increase in workflow. So solution, whether you want to utilize the click-to-pay functionality within Fortis or a full-blown automation system like Sage AR Automation, you could be able to help alleviate those and reduce those overdue payments by up to 50%. And helps to bring those payments in faster. It helps you offer more payment options. Within Fortis, you can be able to enable that click-to-pay, invoicing, accepting credit card, ACH, and digital wallets. So alleviate having to do that manual cash app with those checks as well. So get your customers to pay faster and reducing that DSO, or days sales outstanding. And then you get real-time cash flow insights, into what payments are made today within the Fortis page, as well as those cash projections or what payments have been brought in this week on our portal within Sage AR Automation. Both places really give you that cash flow insights and projections as well. So it gives you that better financial decision-making and focus on forecasting. And then no matter which section you choose, whether it's basic or more advanced with AR Automation, we can help reduce that manual work by up to 80%. So Fortis automates payment posting, and Sage AR Automation streamlines AR workflows. With the Fortis integration into Sage AR Automation, business can further reduce reconciliation times and minimize errors. So really this helps quicken the actions led to quicker payments, save hundreds of hours per year, and freeing up staff's time on high-value tasks. So next is improve customer experience. So we actually, during the pandemic, we actually saw an uptick in having prospects come to us, and I'm sure Fortis can say the same, where their customers are looking for an online option. Whether it's just a click-to-pay functionality or full-blown web portal, they're looking for that online option. And so this, helps to improve that self-service portal where customers can make that payment, track those invoices, and be able to, get that cash posted back into Sage and automate those payment options directly within that portal or even just that click-to-pay functionality. So you get fewer inquiries for that payment and faster payments coming from that customer to improve that customer satisfaction.
So yeah, just to kind of summarize everything that we went over here, one of the big things is faster payments and collections, right? Automate invoice reminders and payment reconciliation to speed up cash flow. It's pretty ironic that was the top choice. We also offer real-time cash flow insights so you can track receivables, payments, and metrics in one dashboard. Eliminating manual tasks, even though that isn't directly related to speeding up the time of payment, it definitely bogs organizations down. So we offer automated invoicing, reconciliation, and AR processes to free up time. Improved customer experience, so offering customers a seamless payment portal with multiple payment options. End-to-end ERP integration, so fully integrating with Sage 100 and Intacct for streamlined operations rather than jumping in multiple platforms for reconciliation. And then advanced automation with Sage AR automation, SARA. Together, Fortis and SARA optimizes payments, collections, and financial workflows. So how to work with Fortis and SARA? We have 2 QR codes here. You can scan with your phone to access our landing pages to reach out to us for further information. The one on the left is for Fortis, and then the one on the right is to reach out to SARA.
Now, we did want to say thank you and open up to any questions. Kelly, do we have any questions coming in?
No questions or chats. You must have answered everything presented well. Thank you, everybody, and a quick, huge thanks to David and Liam for their time today. And of course, thank you to all who attended. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you spending an hour of it with us. Thank you all for coming, and have a great rest of your day.